anyone noticed that when it comes to the 2024 election, we have an incumbent vice president running against a former president? And the irony of this entire thing is that the incumbent vice president has positioned herself as if she is not partially responsible for the current condition of the country based on her last 4 years being the vice president. They're positioning her as running as a prosecutor, but she is actually indeed running as the vice president. And it's almost like somehow they've built an immunity shield around her to protect her from critique of the issues that the Biden administration has caused and that people are still dealing with today as a result of the Biden administration. If you ask me, this is one of the main reasons why they're keeping her away from the media and not really allowing her to say too much. Because once you start asking questions about what's going on today, clearly, even right now, Kamala Harris is contributing to it. So if you don't like the conditions today, and you can link those conditions today back to the individual who is running for president, it almost makes the decision of who would be the logical vote obvious. Aside from all that, Byron Donalds recently went on an interview on Fox News and exposed this very thing to the interviewer. We're going to check out this article from Washington Examiner. And what it says is Representative Byron Donalds expressed doubt that Vice President Kamala Harris can win the 2024 election, citing how she is unable to distance herself from President Joe Biden. I mean, absolutely. If you just look at the campaigning paraphernalia from a couple years ago, her name and his name are literally on the posters in people's yards. It was literally the Biden-Harris campaign. It's currently the Biden administration. Kamala Harris is a part of the Biden administration. These things are inseparable. Yet somehow this is being discussed as if these are separate issues. It doesn't make any sense. The Florida congressman, who is also a major supporter of former President Donald Trump, believes the 2024 presidential race is very close, but that the former president is greatly positioned to emerge the victor. He argued that this comes down to a few reasons, such as Harris's lack of policy discussion, right? Now, here's the two reasons why. Bad policy is why we are where we are today, which would link her to the current administration. And because her future plans, as we've talked about and proven extensively, are nothing more than an extension of current Biden era policy, which would make her presidency a Biden 2.0 presidency. And I don't think that that's very popular right now. I do not think that that is a very popular idea right now, a Biden 2.0 presidency. Let me know if anybody listening to this video is just ecstatic and hyped up about the thoughts of a new Biden administration. And current polling having her further behind Trump than former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton in 2016 and Biden in 2020. And then number 3, Kamala Harris cannot run from Joe Biden, Donald said on Fox News Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo. I know she's trying to run as a prosecutor, but her current title is Vice President of the United States. And she was riding shotgun with Joe Biden, creating one of the worst economies for working families and middle-class families in the history of our country, while leaving our southern border wide open to more than 10 million illegal immigrants. I believe that Donald Trump is well positioned to win this race. How do you guys feel? If you guys feel Trump is well positioned to win this race, let me know in the comment section. If there's anything that you think is possibly stopping Trump from winning the race, also let me know in the comment section. They put a clip of this interview right here in the website. We're going to take a look at it.
Trump's agenda and what he heard from constituents this past week in Chicago is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds, a member of the Oversight and Financial Services Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. How would you assess the state of the race today?
It's a close race, but I think that Donald Trump is greatly positioned to win. Let me give you a couple of reasons. Number one, Kamala Harris hasn't discussed anything of substance to this point. So when she starts going...
Well, they stopped him right there. They stopped him right there. But I have to agree with what he's saying. Kamala Harris absolutely has not discussed anything of substance up to this point. She hasn't. What policy has Kamala Harris discussed at length to where you can hear her policy, understand the starting point, the pathway to the end, and the end result? Which one? Here's another question. What tailor-made policy does Kamala Harris have on the books that was specifically made to deal with issues that we have going on today? What policy does Kamala Harris have that is not a rendition of Biden era policy? I think that that's huge. Donalds also contended that the Democratic Party has been in charge for 12 of the last 16 years. And the only time people were better off was when Trump was president. Now, again, this is going to require some opinion, so let me know in the comment section. Would you agree with that statement or would you disagree? He backed his statement up by arguing that the economy was flourishing and that there were no new wars under Trump's leadership. When asked if he believes Trump can convince swing voters to support him over Harris, Donald said he does, but that Trump needs to show the contrast between his policies and Harris's. And if you pay very close attention and watch my channel, we do that every day. He also cautioned that wealthy people in the country will not be affected by Harris's policies should she become president. And those who would be financially hurt will be working families and senior residents on fixed incomes. Earlier this month, Donalds encouraged the former president to campaign against Harris's soft on crime record, saying she was bailing out rioters during the summer of love with the Black Lives Matter riots in Minneapolis. He also suggested that Trump conduct events with victims, reinforcing how some of these victims were at the Republican National Convention and spoke about the failures of Biden and Harris. And as you guys can see, he actually did do that. He implemented that in his visit to the southern border. Okay. On Thursday, Trump visited the southern border. There we go. Alongside the families of two women who were allegedly raped and murdered by illegal migrants. The former president listed more than a dozen incidents of children and women being sexually assaulted or deleted by illegal migrants, including the death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare of Texas and 37-year-old Rachel Moran of Maryland. Okay. Polling data indicate Trump currently has a slim lead over Harris in Pennsylvania, a state largely coveted within the Electoral College. A separate poll found that Trump has a 49% support among likely voters, a small lead over Harris at 46%. All right. So now, summing this up, Kamala Harris cannot separate herself from her past track record as Joe Biden's vice president, as a part of the Biden administration. Yet you see the Democrats keeping her away from the media and the media providing a cover as if she's not currently the vice president and we're not currently living under her policies. Why are they doing this? If Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's policies were so good, the mainstream media would do as much as possible to keep your attention on them so that you can remind yourself of the constant benefit of how good they are so that you will know to go vote for them, because you can't live without those wonderful policies that they put in place. But interestingly enough, the mainstream media is Kamala Harris's biggest advocate to keep you from reviewing her past performance. If that doesn't tell you everything about her performance, I don't know what does. Let me know if you agree or disagree or have something else to say. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice, smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and make sure you watch the video that's recommended up next right now.